give them a chance to do something that I call the permanence of spirit, like the thing that you can tell it's me, you can feel what I was feeling. Really, we almost don't even do the interview because they could probably tell you exactly what I was feeling.
Right.
As a human being and what I was struggling with, and all the different things, even the things that are not literalized on them in the movie. And I try to do both as much as I can, and that's always gotten me in trouble at the time. Some extent, not picking one camp or the other.
Okay.
Not picking Pirates of the Caribbean or a Wes Anderson movie.
Right.
But trying to put them together.
How strong was the? In other words, was there a lot of? Has there been a lot of influence, or a lot of effort exerted over you to try to take these projects, and how? I mean, because your first one out of the gate was a big one, so that I assume that eased things up. But I mean, just in shooting films in this area, did you catch a lot of guff for wanting to stay here and do the films here?
I didn't get too much of that
because you were sort of ahead of the curve. Now there's a lot of productions and stuff taking place here.
I didn't actually get too much. It's in the contract. So since I sell the screenplays, when I sell them, we actually obviously get a certain price. But then the very next thing is shooting in Philadelphia is on the thing. And if you want to deal with that, then don't deal with that.
Okay, all right. So that's not been an issue. But the question of the farm, was that in fact that house intact? Was that built?
No, we built that.
You built that house.
We built that on a. Gosh, somebody remember where we built that? We built that on a field at a university, actually.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it's like a university that studies crops.
Delaware Valley.
What is it?
Delaware Valley.
There it is.
Okay, there you go.
So they let us build a whole house there. The CGI has risen to the place.
Okay.
That you can actually do photoreal stuff, and it's staggering what can be done now at a lot of vendors.
Okay.
They've gotten to that level now, so it's much more. Like back then, we were like breaking ground trying to figure out how to do this. I couldn't actually do what I wanted. What I wrote we couldn't do, which was that you can't see the creature. It was like the boy was being held in the room, like floating. The way I wrote it, I said the boy's floating in the room, and you can only tell like an octopus that the thing is standing there if you just you just a little bit of a thing, you can see that it's texture.
You ever see that TED footage of the octopus that's changing?
Yes, exactly. And in fact, that's the footage that I used to try to get it. But at that time, the technology wasn't there, and the technology's there now.
Oh, cool, awesome.
Yeah.
And a quick question about you doing a TV show? Is that still going?
It is.
Yeah. And what is
it's a whole new world for me. We'll see.
Okay. It's just covering your ass.
Yeah, I'm just trying.
An experiment. It's about death and the afterlife?
Yeah, that one. Yeah, the one that's on Sci-Fi.
Okay.
It was an idea I had about a kid that wanted to prove that there was life after death.
All right. And for me personally, I loved the story you did for Devil.
Oh,
and that's part of the Night Chronicles, yes?
Yes. Two more coming.
Yeah. Okay. Will you direct or you?
No, those are for young bucks. When I watch documentaries on other artists, it always makes me feel so, on the same fight as them, and encouraged to keep going and inspired. By the way, I saw a documentary. It was amazing. The artist is present. Have you guys seen this thing?
I've heard it mentioned, but
that's so good. So anyway, I was crying watching this documentary on a performance artist. And again, so you'll find in the end it's about purity. Just being as exactly who you are. That's an analyzed life, right? That we just keep on thinking about it. Why do I sound so fake when I talk to that person? Why do I get in the same rhythm when I'm talking to my mom and dad? I know I'm smarter than that, and yet I'm 16 again, And what is it about those things that kick in about, that reminds me of when I was insecure, this or that, or our ego, and what is that all about? I was having a lunch with a famous painter from Pennsylvania, actually, and we were talking about this, about how we got to find the balance of doing what's important to us and then doing it for an audience, because if you don't do the for an audience part, there's no limitations, there's no actual real self-analysis, because you start to feel your ego kicks in and goes, I don't need to, because I'm doing, it's that balancing act of being an individual and part of the community. That balancing act is what we strive for. Don't give up either. You don't just sell out and I just want to be a part of the group, right? But But that balancing act is, if you can teeter right on that, that's when everyone goes, you know, we're so inspired when we see somebody that's, you know, effortlessly themselves and a part of the community. You know, Abigail, for example, at the dinner table scene. So the Last Supper scene. So I sat with her and I said, you know, your dad believes this is the last time you will ever eat together. Okay, that's what he's saying, feeling, and you don't want to eat anymore. Because when you realize this, you don't want to eat anymore. This is the last time you're going to sit with your brother and your dad. If your dad believes it, it must be true. And you know, does that make sense to you? Why he's so upset? That kind of thing. And she's like, she's getting tears on why? And he goes, that's what he believes. He believes this is the last night. He's given up, and you never seen your dad given up. Like that. Those kind of. I tried to talk in words that she's 5. Of course, she was a precocious 5, but that kind of. But when I see it click, and it clicks for actors at different moments, you roll camera. That's it. Everyone. Up. That's it. That's the only reason we're here is for that look in their eyes, and I go, stop, put the lights down, that's it, turn on the camera, go. And everybody hears the urgency, and we go, turn it. And she shot first in that scene, and she killed it, you know? And then I go, cut, man, and it's 2 takes, she's, you know, 5, and I just was like, that's amazing. And then I was like, who's next? And all the guys were like, we're not. Now Joaquin will like, you're out.
How many times do you end up, while you're filming, saying, this is going to be the take I'm going to use, only to get into editing and say, wait, this is the one, another one?
It's pretty close, but it's not always, for sure, because you need flow. Like, I went through and I changed a lot of Mel's takes.
Really?
During the movie, after I saw the movie, to you know, arc him a little bit. He's such an entertainer, Mel, and I get so, as everybody does, get so charmed by him on screen that you don't realize the moments that he's betraying your character. Like he might not, Graham's character may not have that kind of anger or that kind of humor, and it seems inappropriate, but Mel does, and so it's fascinating to watch. And I kept, you know, saying to Mel, you have to limit your palate, because your palate is preternatural. It's not what a normal person has. So I don't understand this priest if he's this loss of faith and has all these superstar attributes. Sure. I don't. You limit him. Limit his vocabulary and speak only in that chosen set of colors. That's it. And so I kept on having to grab it. And then in editing, I had to do it again, like grab it and limit it, because I was not being as disciplined with him as I should have. And it kind of interesting because I'm making a movie now with Will Smith. And superstars are superstars for a reason. They'll come and sit down and they'll say, I can have a glass of water, and we'll all laugh and charm and be like, oh.
Oh, you're just the best. You're so awesome.
And you have to get rid of all of that.
He drinks just like we do.
and you know, just like with this movie with Will, I'm not letting him do anything. You know, basically, just this, with just your eyes at the end of the movie. That's all you have left. And that's probably ending like carving down, but on the day, the long-winded answer to your thing, a lot of the Mel's takes changed.
Well, I don't. You can just, you know, use semaphore when we have to. But I remember, I think it was Gina Davis was talking about when they were making it was Rosie O'Donnell on that movie. She was watching Gina Davis as they were filming the scene, and it was very quiet. She's like, that can't be acting. That can't be acting. And then would see it on screen, and it reads real. It blows up big time.
Yeah,
so
exactly.
Is that the key?
Meryl Streep, for example, obviously is the master at doing it in here. Yeah, right.
Right.
You know? So like I'll give like a 7-minute direction to Jaden in the new movie, Jaden Smith in the movie, and then I'll say, the last thing I'll say, now do all of that with your eyes. And then you're not allowed to do anything else with your body. Just walk through what I just said in your head, and the film will catch it. And when you talk like that to kids and all, they get it. I just said, make sure, and then I'll catch it. And then the thing that makes actors safe is when I catch it, and I go, from this line to this line, I don't know where you were. I don't know how you got there. And do you know how you got there? And they'll be like, no. And I'll be like, okay. So, and that, when you catch it, they feel super safe. Super safe. Someone's watching, so they can be on it. You know, what they're doing is being respected and honored. You know, that's how I create as much safety as I can with the actors.
I was reading about.
Let me just tell you who was in this movie. So it was originally An unknown kid as the brother. It was Mark Ruffalo and Tom Hanks.
Really?
Yeah, that was the family. And
it would be hard to imagine.
I know, right?
As common as they are, you
imagine
can't
it
imagine
now.
them. Yeah. Which goes to
And there was another little girl that I was so torn between her and Abigail. They're 5. I couldn't tell. It was like I couldn't tell. I mean, it was almost an entire new family.
How long before are you? I mean, is there a lot of hand wringing if you're down to 2 superstar potential?
Yeah, I mean, and the thing is as you can see, actually, the difference with that thing I can't decipher between these 2 5-year-olds is the difference between a world-class actress and a pretty good kid actor. And that
is it pure instinct? Or
somebody, she actually said something about, in one of the auditions, about her birthday. Like, I talked to the little kids, and the little kids, I talked to them, and just after I'm done to see if they have any craft, I just talk to them to see if I like the human being that they are, and because that's what I'm going to bring out. And then when she said something about her birthday, I remember that was the thing that stuck with me, and I was like, I got it, because that's the girl that can wear that costume, and you'll fall in love.